Hello everybody, welcome to Filmmaking. Today, boy and Dulabic here. So in this episode we're going to talk about macro extension tubes for $20. Stay tuned. These are two extension tubes by a company called Fotga. One is 16mm and the other one is 10mm. These basically turn any regular lens into a macro lens. One important thing about these specific ones is the fact that they have electric pins, as you can see right here, which allow you to still use autofocus with your lens and adjust the aperture. Without these pins, your lens becomes basically a manual lens. You can use one or both extension tubes together. You attach them the same way you attach any other lens. By using both of them together, it does allow you to move closer to the object and get more of a close-up macro shot. I use this with my 40 to 150mm lens so that I could also use the zoom function, and that way I didn't have to physically move the camera back and forth to get the perfect focus. Now let's take a look at some examples. Alright guys, so as you saw, these tubes are pretty sweet. Sometimes you can get a package of 2, sometimes they come in a package of 3. So, you know, whatever works for you. From my experience, generally you will get 10 and 16 millimeters or somewhere around there anyway. And yeah, it's a great, extremely low cost way to start doing macro photography, right? So basically the way it works, the more you stack on, right, the closer you can get to the subject, which is excellent. Now, is this a perfect way to do macro photography? Well, no. The perfect way is to get a kick-ass macro lens and start doing it. When you do this, at the end of the day, you are taking a lens, so whether that's a prime lens or a zoom lens, you know, whatever you have available, and you are making it do something that it originally wasn't designed to do. Right? So that's not going to be perfect. Sometimes you might have focusing issues, right? Again, it depends on the lens. You know, it's not perfect. It's not as good as a macro lens. However, I mean, you saw the examples. It's pretty sweet. It is pretty kick-ass. So who is this for? Well, if you are a beginner, right, and you think you might be interested in macro photography but you're not sure, hey, 15-20 bucks, get these types of tubes, check it out. If you like it, then upgrade to a macro lens, right? It's a good way to get started in that industry, right? Or if you are more, you know, a guy like me who is interested in a variety of different photography, but macro isn't, it's not the main thing, right, but you want to be able to do it, well, again, this is a good way to do that. One thing to keep in mind, if you are getting these tubes, get the ones with the pins inside, because that way you will be able to control your lens. If you don't have that, your lens basically becomes a manual lens, as I mentioned. Now, the problem with that is if your lens doesn't have aperture control, you won't be able to control that, right? And that's the problem. So definitely make sure to get it. They don't seem to be more expensive, right? So just make sure they have the pins inside, and you know, you'll be good to go. So all in all, I think this is a great thing, right? Be aware that it's not a perfect solution. You might have focusing issues, as I mentioned, but all in all, I think this is a great solution. So that's it, guys. Links to everything will be in the description as always. Stay tuned for more. Tell your friends, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon to be notified of future videos and all that good stuff, and see you soon. Thanks.